Can he perform?
That's all.
We got to tour tomorrow. We gotta go. And they're like, bro, your son almost died. And you worried
Michael Jackson brought the Bloods and the Crips together in the 80s.
They ain't coming to see you, Otis. They're coming to see Michael.
So Joseph's like, Michael, stop looking out that window. He said, Michael, come get back to work. $1981, because that's what it's like in the movie.
Jumped again.
So everything he just said, we're not going to repeat it. He met with the MTV man, and this at the time they skipped this. Mike got he got a white manager, okay, because white people wouldn't listen to him, so he got a white manager to say the same thing to the white people, and they heard him. They just got the manager to say the same thing, and then they end up calling, blah blah blah. Next thing you know, Michael is on MTV. So Michael
playing Billie Jean, Thriller, and Beat It. Well, Billie Jean was the big one, though. That's where they were like, we need to put Billie Jean on MTV because this song is good. It was already on top of the charts, but MTV pushed it even longer.
And actually funny, when Michael hired this manager, the first thing he had him do, he was like, I need you to fire Joseph.
I'm not gonna do it. You need to do it.
So they sent him a fax. And so this pissed Joseph off. When Joseph got this fax, basically this is equivalent of a text message. He was like, music video. Michael Jackson brought the Bloods and the Crips together in the 80s. What? 81?
And
you gonna fire your father over text message? You gonna send a text message to fire your father? You gonna tell me in person?
It wasn't even him. It was his manager.
And it was a manager, which makes it worse. So he literally had a printed version of the fax, basically the text message. So when he saw Michael at the house, because Michael still lived at the home, I don't know, Michael crazy. He put that down. He said, Michael, what? So he was like, he felt like he was going to whoop Michael. So Joseph goes to Catherine. He was like, I'm about to whoop Michael. I'm about to whoop him.
And then Catherine stands up for him.
Yes. And Catherine says, he's too old and frail to be whooping anybody. So, and he don't whoop nobody.
And Michael's making you all that money in that house you living in. Yeah, we'll talk about that. That nice ass house they were living in California.
Yes. The nice. So they done moved really on up. Nice. No Jeffersons. Okay, so as Michael and his manager began to work on the next album, Michael aims for it to be the biggest album ever. So we already said a lot of this stuff, sorry. He looks for inspiration and sees a news report on rising gang violence, which is sad, between the Bloods and the Crips, which everybody black. It doesn't make sense, but I'm a civilian. Let me mind my business. He gathers people at the studio to shoot the Beat It.
This was probably my favorite part of the film because my favorite Michael Jackson song is Beat It. So it's really cool to see how that idea came. Because if you've seen the Beat It music video, it's obviously about gangs, and pulling up to fight each other. But then basically he does what he says he does in real life. Like he brings them together. He's like, we're going to beat it. Yeah. The coolest part is when he's teaching everybody the choreography. Coming up off the top of his head, like he doesn't.
Oh yeah, super cool part of the movie.
He's like teaching, and then everybody's like, ooh. So he's doing the spins and the crotch grabs, and it was just really cool.
It was awesome.
The fact that a lot of them hated each other, but they came together because who wouldn't want to be in a Michael Jackson video, And it was like Michael was also the first artist to make movies. Like he's like, I want my music videos to be films, like feature.
I got film.
Like.
And work with Disney and all that kind of stuff.
It's been like that ever since. You see everybody, music videos nowadays or mini movies. But
like Beyonce would be the next closest thing because Beyonce does like full productions for music videos, or she don't do them at all.
Yeah.
So the next thing that actually happened was the MTV thing with CBS. They called. They got mad, but they ended up getting Michael on MTV. So once Michael's on MTV, he went big, like he was saying. So at a party to celebrate the success of Thriller, which indeed does become the highest selling album of all time, Michael reunites with Suzanne and Barry, both proud of his success, as well as his mother and brothers, and a loud, drunken Joseph comes stumbling in, where he's saying like he's the reason for all the success. He's the reason for all the success. And then in another scene, Joseph sits down with boxing promoter Don Cole, this section was funny because this was not a comedy. Dion Cole was being serious, but something about Dion Cole playing Don King, hilarious. 10 out of 10, super funny. But Joseph sits down with Don King to discuss setting up another tour for the Jacksons. Jackson 5. And he said, Don King said, with the cigar, he said, "Oh, this sounds nice. But is Michael gonna be there?"
Yeah. He's gonna sell.
He said, "Ain't not gonna sell if Michael ain't there."
They ain't coming to see you, Otis. They're coming to see Michael.
They coming to
He's
see
the
Michael.
one spinning the records.
He don't want to spin the records. So Joseph has to guilt Michael into doing another tour so he doesn't disappoint the family. So
and that's when the Pepsi.
Oh yes, now this
right,
is when the Pepsi thing. So we set the Pepsi thing way out of order. So Michael joins the thing he joins the shooting for a commercial Pepsi. Things take a bad turn where the pyrotechnics go off, set his Michael hair on fire. He's rushed to the hospital. Yes, where the back of his scalp surfaced permanent damage. Now this one Michael started had to wear wigs.
Yeah, because it was literally like
at first he only wore a wig on top, but eventually all that other hair he had, that was a wig.
What made me so mad about this part is Joseph again, like literally Michael, that's like a scary injury.
Yeah.
Like your head was almost burned, like it could have been real bad. And Joseph walks in and says, "Can he perform?
That's all.
We got a tour tomorrow. We gotta go." And they're like, "Bro, your son almost died and you worried about money?"
Yes, he was worried about money.
Pissed me off.
So the next scene is Michael eventually recovers with the help of Catherine and the manager, visiting to support him. When he is ready, he goes back to performing. He joins the brother on their victory tour, but on the final night, Michael announces that this will be the last tour. Despite Joseph's intentions to go worldwide. So back before Michael sets his own tour, Joseph talked to the press backstage. He was like, "We're going Paris, Tokyo, London. We're going everywhere. We taking this thing on the road.
We're going overseas."
So he made him look really stupid. So then Michael on tour live in front of the band. Michael didn't tell nobody. In front of everybody. Everybody was surprised. He just tells us, "Man, y'all gotta watch the movie just for this scene." He says that I'm not coming back. Okay,
I'm solo.
Where he pronounces that he will be not coming back, and then Michael performs "Human Nature." Love that song. He walks past Joseph, who tries to get him to reconsider, but Bill, that's why we love Bill. Bill says, he makes it clear to Joseph, he said, "Michael ain't coming back." He said, "Give it a rest." And then Bill walk off with his toast. We love Bill to this day. Thank you, Bill.
Bill was
a real one. And then next scene, 1985. Put
London.
that on the screen.
Here's London.
London. Now, this is where I was screaming in the theater. It's like I was a teenage girl. Okay. Michael goes to Wembley Stadium as he starts his Bad tour to perform Bad in front of a huge stage before he went out. You know, Michael loves to take his time. He builds intention. He will take 5 minutes to go on the stage. Michael know how to get us. Anyways, so we were screaming. People passing out.
Everybody was screaming in the theaters. Like, it was kind of crazy. Like clapping.
It just felt like it was 1985 again. Like, we don't get lit about it.
We weren't even alive in 85.
You weren't even alive in 85.
That's the crazy thing, but
there's nobody who we get this excited about at all. Like, Beyonce would be the closest level, and nobody passed out at the Beyonce concert. You pay too much money to pass out Beyonce. You better remember, it passed out at the Michael Jackson concert. Pass out, men and women.
Yeah, fainting.
They would have to take them out the crowd.
It was just about this scene, because this scene, we didn't really talk about it, but this scene was the first scene actually when the movie starts. Is Mike?
Yeah.
In 1985, he's wearing the black. It's like the glitter with the glasses, and it's basically his iconic outfit. Bad outfit, and he's like walking slowly, like that's the beginning of the film, but then it stops. But then
it goes to the beginning.
The end of the film is that same scene, but
from London.
I was talking to my dad about this on Father's Day, but that was his favorite scene, was Michael walking at the end, and then he stops, turns, and looks like the camera behind him, and he looks just like Michael Jackson, bro.
Yes, and this is after
he looked just like Michael. When I'm telling you, he literally looked like Michael Jackson was looking at us in that theater, and then it was just cool.
Yes,
it was really cool.
So in the film, they show that I heard vertigo, but only showed it on his hand. At this point, Michael full white, like light skin. This light skinned Mike. Okay, we ain't going back to Afro Mike, but it's okay. Mike held us down. But yes, no. I screamed, and then they showed him performing Bad for like 2 to 3 minutes. Incredible. And then it ends. It shows a black screen that says Michael's story will continue. Allegedly,
Marvel style.
Marvel style.
Michael will return.
Allegedly, so this is a spoiler review. We're going to tell you the rest. Allegedly, there's a part 2, but the reason they had to split the film into half is because Michael Jackson got sued for a lot of things that he did not do. But in those court cases, they did agree that you can't talk about these court cases anymore, especially put them in a film.
Yeah.
So the people who made... Oh, no,
it was also supposed to be one big film.
Yeah, it was supposed to be one big film.
Put a big chunk of that in the second half.
Everything that happened after 85.
They wanted to put it into 2 films. But I'm really interested to see
how they do it or
how they do part 2, or like what part 2 is going to be really about. Because, you know, he had a few more albums before his passing. And obviously it's going to go into that. And I know everybody to this day remembers where they were when they found out the news that he passed away. And it's just...
Yeah, it was just sad. Just sad for like a week. But yes, the last spoiler is that that's why they took it out the movie. That's why they didn't even include it, because there was a huge lawsuit. The people who made the movie weren't even aware about this lawsuit and didn't know it was a problem until they had the movie fully shot and ready to release it. And then the
lawyers came in and
was
like, hey, we can't do this.
You can't do this. Like, yeah, legal came in at the last minute.
And they said, we've been filming for months.
Like, what do you mean? So they had to bring Jafar back, put the makeup back on, reshoot some scenes, and they cut the movie. So we hope to get part 2, but y'all, there is a low 20% chance it just might never come out.
Yeah.
Due to the legal stuff. But or if it does come out, it's going to be butchered.
Yeah, hopefully it does come out, though, because his story deserves... It's already been told, but it deserves to be finished fully. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and
that Michael was not no pedo. I don't care what y'all say.
Kind of just... comparing it to An American Dream, the older Michael biopic, because that movie stops at his Pepsi accident, so it doesn't even go into his later career.
Everything that happened after that,
like, it stops there. So it reminded me a lot of An American Dream, but
yes.
Obviously, it just looks a whole lot better because it was 2026 film. You know,
and they didn't get into as much detail. If you want full detail, all the little things about this life, watch American Dream.
American Dream is a good watch. Yeah.
They had to kind of, get to the point. So overall, that's the points. Thank you, Michael. And the tea was, I'll say that if you know me in real life. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. So let's just do our overall ratings. We both decided to give it a 2 heads up, 2 Josh heads. Movie was that good, and if you have not seen it, I don't think it's in the theaters anymore, but it's worth renting it. And if you want to wait for it to be free, I'm pretty sure it will be on streaming services eventually.
Yeah, probably by the end of summer. It'll probably be somewhere by Max or Prime or Peacock. It'll be somewhere. So I highly suggest it is worth the money. There's a reason. I want to say Michael sold $1 billion. Let's look up how much this. We can look how much it was, but kind of just overall thoughts of the film. Like we said in the beginning, like, it's kind of crazy how, I've heard so many Michael songs in the beginning of my life, but after watching that film, like, just having a deeper appreciation for every song that he put out, like, because it's just really well done, like. And also, that's the crazy thing, in 2026, he didn't have auto-tune back then, the way he sung and all of his harmonies and background vocals, like, it was all just him, and it was just pure talent. And I know Quincy was bamboozled, watching him record all them songs. He's like, oh my gosh, like, we got another hit.
Yeah,
we got another hit. But how much did it make?
So in 2026, Michael grossed over $960 million.
Wow.
That's almost $1 billion.
Almost $1 billion for a biopic.
In less than a year. For a biopic, and it says it's the second highest grossing biographical film in history. So not the first, unfortunately. I'll have to look into. Well, I'll come back to it. But yes, it says that in the U.S. domestic, it grossed $358 million and $553 million internationally. So you see how outside of the U.S. there was more money made outside the U.S. That's how Michael loved everywhere. Not everybody got that kind of love. Well, it says that. Oh, I guess now it's the first one. Well, it says music biopic record is officially surpassed the 911 million lifetime gross record of Bohemian Rhapsody to become the most successful biopic ever. So
it made $50 million more than Bohemian Rhapsody, basically.
Yeah, so it is the highest. And then opening the opening week, it made $97 million domestically. So almost $100 million, bro, just in the US the first week. Michael's selling out, and he did. And that's why the label did what they did. I'm not gonna say more than that. But we love Michael, and y'all can't ruin his image. We don't care what you say. Gen Z love Michael as well. Watch the videos. They said we love Michael Jackson. Oh, let's see. Let's show Patrick.
You want to say hi?
Este perrito, perrito. He's cuatro.
He said, I like the
Cuatro
Michael
años.
Boogie too.
Yes. He loves Michael Jackson. Encanto Michael Jackson. Escuche Michael Jackson. But yes. Y'all, go to JoshandJosh.bandcamp.com.
We know you've been listening to the background music this whole video.
Okay.
We really appreciate it if you go follow our Instagram as well. And that's where you can check out our full music discography.
Yes, Little Michael right here. His name is Pod, Little Michael. He says, thank you for supporting, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Y'all already know. That ain't nothing new. And y'all, back to another one. We're gonna have another video coming out shortly. Okay? Oh, ciao.